Hey, hi everyone. I am back with your 232 How Can I Find Products Efficiently lesson using generic rectangles. So if you want to follow along as I read the introduction. In the previous lesson, you learned a new strategy for modeling multiplication, the generic rectangle. Today, you will explore the use of this model in more depth. Later in this course and in future courses, you will discover that generic rectangles are a powerful method to represent multiplication. You can use them to find the product of any pair of factors, including positive and negative integers, portions, and expressions with variables. So we're actually going to go to problem 260 to start. So it said, Alan wanted to use generic rectangles to help him multiply 325 and 46. He started the diagram below. Copy the diagram onto your own paper, then fill in the blanks. In the blanks, write numbers that represent the rectangle's dimensions broken apart, or in other words, decomposed, into their place value components. Alan did not necessarily draw his generic rectangle to scale, so the parts might not match any base 10 blocks. So I'm going to kind of get you started here. So I want you to try this on your own. So go ahead, pause the video, and try and just to do part A. Okay, if you're back with me, that means you have attempted part A, so we're going to go over it together as a class now. So we need to break down 325. Well, what is in the 100 spot? 3, so we have 300. In the 10 spot, we have 2, so that's going to be 20. And then in our ones column, we have 5. Down the side, we only have a tens column and a ones column. So in our tens column is a 4, so 40. And in our ones column, we have a 6. So now, we need to write the numbers, which we did. And it doesn't necessarily say to find the product, because in part B, it says, now find the product. To do this, first calculate the areas represented by each of the 6 small rectangles. Then add up the areas of the small rectangles to find the total area of the large generic rectangle. Notice on your notes, no calculator, okay? So you're doing this without a calculator. So let's come back up here, and I would like you to try and fill in your 6 little parts. So if you are back with me, that means that you have filled this in. So 40 times 300 is 12,000. 300 times 6 is 1,800. 20 times 40 is 800. 20 times 6 is 120. 5 times 40 is 200. I'm going to write it down. And 5 times 6 is 30. So part B, once you have done that, says to then add up all the areas of the small rectangles to find the total area of the large generic rectangle. So now we need to write all this out. So it's going to be kind of hard to see because I got to keep going back and forth. So we have 12,000 plus 1,800 plus 800 plus 120 plus 200 plus 30. And this is always good to check. So we have 6 values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure you have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. So we're going to start 200 plus 230, or plus 30 is 230. Oh, sorry. Can't even see. 800 plus 120 is 920. Plus 12,000 and 1,800 is 13,800. 13,800 and 920. I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way, just to make sure. 16, that'll be 17, carry my 1, 4, bring down. So that'll be 14,720 plus 230. So if I add another 230 onto that, 0, 5, 7, 8, 9, and then 14. So our total would be 14,950. Part C, we're going to kind of go through together. Sorry, I got to make some more room. It says write your answer as a numerical multiplication sentence and as a sum. So you need to write it as 2 things. So first, we're going to do a numerical multiplication sentence. So that would be 325 times 46 equals, well, what does it equal? 14,950, which also equals, this is our sum part, so you're going to rewrite everything you wrote in part B. 12,000 plus 1,800 plus 800 plus 120 plus 200 plus 30. And that is how you write it as a numerical multiplication and as a sum. Hey, now we need to flip to 262. (262) says, generic rectangle puzzles. The 3 generic rectangles below have been partially labeled with the dimensions and areas. So your job is to fill in the rest of the puzzles, solve the puzzles. So sometimes you might have to figure it out up here. Sometimes you might do the areas inside the boxes. You have 3 that you need to do, and we will check them over in class. One more thing I want to mention, 261. Some great practice problems for drawing generic rectangles and practicing without a calculator. If you do those, I might throw some bonus points your way if you get them right, okay? Because it's awesome practice for your upcoming quiz and your test, because generic rectangles, they're never going away now. So again, you need to do 262. We'll go over it in class, and then 261, I might throw some bonus points your way. If you have any questions, you know to email me.